IVM.
The ReDiscovery podcast is an IVM production. If you like the show, also check out Simplified, hosted by Chuck, Naren, and Shriketh, a show that explains intense topics from around the world and simplifies it for you so you can have intelligent conversations with your friends.
In 2 seasons of the ReDiscovery podcast, Ambika and Hoshna have taken us to nooks and crannies of the country to experience paths less traveled, understand vibrant cultures, and gorge on food they couldn't get enough of. This season, they introduce you to people and organizations who strive to make a difference in the way we experience and look at travel. This is the ReDiscovery podcast.
Hi, I'm Ambika.
And I'm Hoshna.
And this is the ReDiscovery podcast. So travel means more than just sites on a list or eating all the food possible, though, everybody knows we love that aspect of it. But in this season of our podcast, we've been discussing how travel can go beyond and have talked to several people and had some guests about how people, spaces, organizations have done something to preserve either their heritage, culture, or give back to society in some way.
So in this episode, we are going to be talking to a fellow travel blogger. Of course, he's like this massive global travel blogger. We are this tiny
we out
guys.
of our league.
And he's also a social entrepreneur. And he's tried to use travel and social media as a way to give back to his community through a number of projects which he's executed in Cambodia,
Not
in
just
Senegal.
his community, I think several communities.
Yeah.
Society.
Communities.
Yeah.
Gambia, and now also in India. So, during our travel also we try to do a little bit wherever we can. We help out a little bit. We volunteer. Recently we were in Bodh Gaya, and it was the festival time when all monks from all over the world come to the temple, and we helped out there volunteering, giving them food. And we try to also bring the stories of communities India out and
break some myths,
bring accurate information out, talk about people who are doing good things so that word gets out there as well. And it's always nice to do something to give back. And that's where we are going to be talking to Johnny Ward here, who's a co-founder of an organization called Give Back Giveaway, where he's trying to use his position in the travel space to sort of give back to communities which need that kind of help and boost.
Right. So tuning in from Thailand, we have Johnny Ward, the Irishman. So hi, Johnny.
Hey guys, how are you?
Good. Welcome. So
thank you. Thanks for having me.
I want to start off by making sure our listeners know that you've been to all the countries in the world. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. 197.
197. Yeah.
Wow, how long did that take you?
Actually, because I don't want to be one of those guys or girls who just jumps over a border for 10 minutes and then moves on to the next country. I want to really experience the country and feel like I'm traveling like deeply in the culture. So actually it took me 10 and a half years of almost full-time travel.
Wow.
Oh, wow. So you've been doing this for over a decade.
Long time.
Wow.
I just finished my last country about 6 months ago.
Wow. And what was that?
It was Norway. Norway was my last country because I wanted a place that my friends and family could come and celebrate with me. And if it was Saudi Arabia or Yemen, which were my second last and third last countries, I don't think we'd be drinking any champagne or red wine in those countries. So
Right. And
how on earth did you do Yemen?
Oh, wow. It's a long story, but I tried and failed 6 times. And eventually I ended up meeting the grandson of the king of Yemen. And he smuggled me onto an Indian cargo ship.
Oh, okay. Yay. India.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't think that's...
It was a long story.
Right, but maybe we'll not get into those details in public.
No, another day.
Okay, so you've been doing this crazy world travel adventure now for over a decade. So how did Give Back Giveaway come about? When did that start?
So when I left Ireland in 2007 to do this every country thing, I come from a poor family, a single parent family. I grew up on welfare. We had no car and no central heating or anything. So then when I left Ireland, I left with nothing, and travel gave me everything. I ended up starting my blog. It became quite famous. I ended up making quite a lot of money through blogging, and um, travel just gave me everything. And then as I had more and more money and more time and more freedom, I kind of started feeling quite selfish on this selfish goal to visit every country. And I was proud to be doing something that no one from Ireland had done before. But I know that ultimately that was for myself,
Right.
to achieve my own personal goal. And then I'm in all these countries and we've got so many difficult situations and so many rural communities and so many poor people, and people that were struggling were so nice to me. And I thought,
Mm.
at the end of the day, travel had given me so much, so I should really try to give something back. And then me and one of my best friends were traveling in West Africa 2 years ago, and that's when we decided to try to do something.
So, Johnny, can you tell us a little more about what Give Back, Give Away is about? What do you all do?
Yeah,
How are you all different?
sure. So basically, the concept was that I had spent, since I've been a blogger, maybe I started blogging in 2009, and then my blog gets around 6 million readers a year, and I have about 300,000 social media followers on my Instagram and my Facebook. And I'm really conscious and aware of how people can misuse social media, and people want to show off their six pack or want to show off their Porsche.
I
and
think
and I just
if
feel like it's it's important to have a positive message. If you've got the platform that you can reach people, then the message should be positive. So I thought that I can use my platform to ask my followers to help us fund and pay for projects in the developing world. And because my followers have been following me for years, and I don't sell anything, and I never try to take any money from anyone, they trust me, and they believed in me and my co-founder Josh. And so we do this thing, we crowdfund the money. So we find a community that needs help, we ask them what they need, we work out roughly how much it's going to cost in and around the $10,000 US dollar budget. And then we go to my followers and ask them, can people donate $10, $25, $50, whatever anyone can afford? And then as an extra incentive to make people donate, incentivize people to donate, once we reach our target, then we'll fly one of those donors. We'll draw a name out of a hat and we'll fly them for wherever they are in the world to come and help us build the project.
oh,
Um, so we did it once in Senegal and Gambia, and we thought maybe it would just be a one-off, and then it was really well received. And then we did it, and that one in Cambodia, and then that was a huge success. So then, in 2017, we did two, one in northern Thailand and one in Myanmar, and they were just getting more and more successful, and people were helping us so much and being generous with their time and their money. So now, this year in 2018, we'll be running four.
oh,
Wow.
The first one will be in India in
in March.
March.
Right.
Yeah, March. And then straight away into the Philippines in July, and then we're doing two more in Nicaragua and in Tanzania in August and
Wow.
September.
So I want to ask something you mentioned right at the beginning. I mean, trust is a huge component over here, because you've asked you started out by reaching out to your followers who up to this point have seen you as this, you're a travel blogger and a social entrepreneur. But at the end of the day, you weren't selling anything. You were just traveling around the world and bringing them pieces of information. So what do you think made people trust you in that sense? Because just to ask somebody for money and for them to give it to, and they don't really know if you've used the money the way you said you would, right? Yeah. So I can imagine that can't be that easy for
No,
someone
and
just to
I
give
just
money
think
away.
the whole process is so beautiful, like we've thought of doing something good, and then my followers trust me, and that's beautiful. And then we build a project, and that's beautiful. And people come and help and build a project, and that's beautiful. And then there's the aftermath of the project, whether we leave it. And it's just all such a positive energy. I really love that kind of thing. So the reason I think that people trusted me was because I'm not a polished character. Like, I'm not perfect. I get drunk and I swear and
Well, you're
I
Irish.
yeah, exactly. And people who've been following me for years can see that. I don't upload these things onto my Instagram of these perfect scenes. That's not my style. So people know that whatever I put on paper or in photographs or in videos, like, it's really me, and they've known that for years. So then equally, if I'm saying I'm doing this, then that's also going to be me, and it's also true, And because I'm not this perfect polished product, then I think people can really believe the authenticity.
So you spoke about crowdfunding and raising money to execute the projects, but how do people actually come along with you and experience these projects and contribute their time and on the ground, hands and feet? How does that happen?
Yeah, so again, this wasn't really our plan because I don't come from this kind of background. I don't know anything about construction. I don't know anything about charity, but I feel like the only people who make a difference in the world are people who just try to make a difference. You wake up and you think, I'm going to try to do something, even though I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So, okay, so that's what we did. And then initially we didn't plan to bring anyone. We just were going to bring the person who won the trip for free.
Right.
And it was going to be me and my co-founder Josh and the winner. But then people kept messaging me and saying, okay, I didn't win. That's okay. Can I just come? I'll just pay and come. And we were like, oh,
okay.
Yeah, sure.
That's nice.
Yeah, come along. So then we're like, okay, let's make it an official thing where we'll organize a bus and we'll take people around and everything and have a brilliant time. So that's what we did. And now we sell 12 tickets, only 12 maximum. It's capped because we want it to be like a cool community of people trying to do something good. And
right.
and then also we wanted to, like, I understand that we all work hard. Some work harder than the others, but everyone works hard, whether in the USA or Australia or Ethiopia. Like, we all work hard. So I understand that people only have a certain amount of holiday and a certain amount of money each year. And it would be amazing if they gave us all their money for charity, but realistically, people aren't going to do that.
Yes.
So the concept behind bringing other people was that each trip would be 2 weeks, and we would hire local staff to do most of the actual project, and then myself and my followers would then come in for the opening ceremony, finish it off, play with the kids, do a bit of cosmetic painting here and there, and feel like they can see where their money has gone. And then for the last 10 days of the trip, we would actually just go and travel around the area and go and see all the beautiful things. So I think, like, it works because that way people can still know that they're putting their time and their effort and their money into trying to help the world in as big or a little way as possible, but then they also get to have a holiday for themselves too. Right. And actually, I believe that'll be the future of travel. I think now people are understanding that we're very lucky and privileged to be able to travel, so perhaps we should spend 20% of our trip, 25% of our trip trying to actually do something good as well.
Are these trips adventure trips? I mean, for our listeners, so that they know, are they adventure, heritage, or culture? I mean, or is it a mix, or does it depend on the country, or how does that?
Yeah, well, no, I mean, of course, it depends on the country to a certain extent, but yeah, it's adventure travel.
Okay.
Adventure travel with air conditioning and Wi-Fi when you get to your hotel.
So can't go anywhere without Wi-Fi.
If you're coming to India without air conditioning.
Exactly. So, like, of course, I mean, we travel, like, we'll be on night trains and we'll be in rickshaws, and the bus journeys in the daytime might be a bit rough and ready, and we eat in local places and drink in local places, and it's really fun. But the hotels, of course, are okay. And
right. So it's comfortable enough travel. Yeah.
It's comfortable, yeah. But the daytime, I mean, you can't avoid the adventure if you come on our trips, because also we're going into rural communities and things as well for the project. So you get to see the real side of the country, which is a lot of what people miss when they go on normal tours.
So on that note, we're going to take a quick break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Shunyawan, 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 Shunyawan. $1 billion acquisition. Another copycat startup got formed.
No, the tech world in India is surely moving double the speed of this voiceover.
Tune in to Shunya One every Tuesday to catch us talking to the smartest people we know on the IVM Podcast website, app, or wherever you get your podcast from.
Welcome back to the ReDiscovery podcast. So what kind of projects do you all focus on as part of Give Back Giveaway?
Initially, we wanted to just build playgrounds because it's difficult to get funding, and playgrounds are somewhat affordable. And the whole concept that even if whether a kid is rich or poor, they deserve to be a kid. So they should still be able to play and have fun. So we really wanted to focus on that. And we have focused on playgrounds. We built 4 of them now.
Oh, that's nice.
But of course, ultimately, we don't come into a community and say we're building a playground. Of course, we don't do that. We want to know what the community needs first and foremost. And if they had a playground or absolutely don't need a playground, they need running water or electricity or a dormitory or something like that instead, of course, we'll do that instead. So the last one we did in Myanmar just 2 months ago, their kindergarten and primary school have been destroyed by a hurricane in southern Myanmar. So the last thing, they don't need it. Of course, they would love a playground,
but they need
some other things more.
Right.
They need a bloody kindergarten first before they have a playground. So we went and built them a whole new learning center, and that was beautiful. So it depends really what the community needs.
So this group of 12 people who are on the tour, were they actually knee deep in cement building, or was it all built beforehand? I mean, you said it's a little bit of both, but how does that work? I mean, what happened with Myanmar?
Generally speaking, it's either 2 days or 3 days of pretty hard work, to be honest. Hot, sweaty, dirty work, whether you're covered in paint or you've been cleaning up the whole area, or you've been shifting sand, because we have to put all the sand for the playgrounds or for the foundations. It's quite hard work for 2 or 3 days from morning to night, which people find rewarding as well, especially if you're sitting at home in an office all day, every day, and the only poverty you see is when you're flicking on Netflix, and then suddenly they come to on a trip with us and they're like, oh wow,
it's real. It becomes very real.
Yeah, and they want to help.
Right. So, what sort of people, I mean, do you have? Are they coming from all over the world, or are they? I mean, I don't know. This is just a mixed group on your tour. Is it open to everybody?
For our group, you mean?
Yeah.
Everyone over 18, it's open to. So we've had people from, I think 19's maybe our youngest, and our oldest has been about 55, 60.
Oh.
Yeah, but the thing is also, from the people who follow me, they like, if they've been following me, they're kind of interested in like fun stuff and adventure stuff and like trying to help, like the demographic that I attract from the message that I put out. It doesn't really, age doesn't matter as long as they're cool and fun and like are willing to throw themselves into an adventure. We don't really care.
Okay.
So what are your plans for India? What are you putting together for your Give Back Give Away trip here?
You mean for the project or for the travel side?
Both.
Well, the project it's probably easier for Ambika to describe, would it be?
Yeah. Well, yeah, but why don't you talk about the trip itself? I mean, the entire trip for somebody who might be interested in coming along.
And then Ambika will talk about the project.
Yes.
Sure. Part of the problem, I say problem is not the right word, but part of the problem with our trips is that once you've been on a Give Back Give Away trip, people just want to come back, and we end up having to like encourage people almost not to come back. Otherwise, we're just going to have the same group of friends doing these projects every year. So all the people who've been on our past trips are already super excited for India, which is really nice, because really, I honestly believe it's the best trip that people ever take in their life. Everyone's crying at the end, and the messages, and people are flying around the world to see each other the following year. It's really nice. So for India, people are really excited because this is a lot of people are scared to travel to India with all the media reports in the last few years.
Yeah,
and this is their way to come and see it safely, and it's really nice. So in terms of the travel stuff, we're going to fly and land in Delhi and spend a day in New Delhi, sleep there, spend a day in New Delhi, and then we're going to take the night train to Jodhpur.
Okay.
Spend a couple of days in Jodhpur and then head on to Jaipur, a couple of days there, and then head across to Agra. And what's the name of those steps between Jaipur and Agra? It's Abanari or something, the steps.
Is it a stepwell?
Yeah, stepwell, yeah.
Yeah.
It just looks so amazing. It's called the Abanari stepwell. Or
okay, yeah.
Is it in Rajasthan?
In Rajasthan.
Yeah, so we stop there on the way to Agra, then sunset at Agra, sunrise at Agra, then spend a day or two in Agra, and then we'll head straight back to Delhi and then begin the project for our final 3.5 days. And it goes so fast,
Yeah.
You just arrive and you're already leaving.
2 weeks is a very short time in India. We've been traveling over 2 years in this country now, and we've done just about half of it. Yeah, so I can imagine people want to come back to India. So for our listeners, the project is actually Johnny and Give Back Give Away are working with the Shiksha Bharati School, which is a small family-run school outside of Delhi. And it's my family that runs the school. We provide free education for kids up to class 5. And these are children of local day wage earners, construction workers, basically families that have been moving a lot, but now that their kids are in school and they have sort of a stable life going on, a lot of these families also settle and have a little more stability. So we try to do that. And Johnny, well, Give Back Giveaway is going to be sprucing up our classrooms and making them more tech friendly, which is really very cool for such a small school. And also we're going to do some painting work together and lots of other cool stuff. So I won't give all of that away on this, but people can check out the website. I think once it's ready, your website will be ready, right? In 3 days, you said.
Yeah, it's already launched. We've had a website for years, but now we're running multiple trips and it's growing so quickly. We have to keep updating the website, but it's live now. Yeah, givebackgiveaway.com.
Okay, so I won't talk too much about what's happening on the India trip. You can go and check out the website for more information, including costing and all of that stuff. But yeah, so Give Back Giveaway is working with our school outside of Delhi. So that's kind of exciting.
Hopefully
We're super
we'll make
excited.
it to Delhi at that time as well, and it should be fun.
Yeah, so we'll be with the tour group for a couple of days and the kids are super excited because they know something big is going to happen. They're not sure yet what. We're also going to organize a picnic for them, which is, for children of this class of society, it's always a big deal to go on a picnic. You miss a day of school, and then it's a picnic. So it's a win-win for them. Yeah, so
it's gonna be a great trip.
What are the dates for your India tour, Johnny?
It is March. Let me just see here. I've got it written on my calendar. I'm constantly traveling, so for me to stay on top of dates is a bit of a nightmare. It is March 19th to April 2nd.
Okay. So for anybody who wants to join the trip, that's March 19th to April 2nd. All the details are on their website, givebackgiveaway.com.
So Johnny, where do you see this going? Do you want to scale up? Do you want to keep it in such a way that you are involved in each of the projects? Or, how do you see this?
Yeah, as long as we can keep continuing to do good. The thing is, my co-founder is a bit softer than me. Sometimes I'm a bit aggressive. The thing about
is he Irish also?
It's got such a bad name. Sorry?
Is he also? He's Canadian. So that explains it.
The problem I find with voluntourism, this idea of tourism and volunteering, it's got such a bad name, and it deserves a bad name because there's all these fake, or even fake's a bit harsh, but there's all these companies that pretend to do good, and you go and you teach English for 3 hours in an afternoon and take a few photographs, and it's almost like poverty porn, you know what I mean? And they don't actually do any good, and they sell tickets and they just make money, and I hate that. Whereas I feel like with what we're actually trying to do something progressive and something that really helps people. But then also that way it's so much more work because we have to source projects that in places that we can trust each and every time. But to answer your question in the shorter way, yes, I'd love to scale it up. We would love to run trips every month if we could, but it depends on fundraising, of course, and it depends, can we sell tickets? Can we get the word out enough? Absolutely. I'm sure there's a gap in the market for this kind of genuine voluntourism, but it's whether we can really get our names out there big enough to sell all the tickets and raise the money every time.
So 197 countries, Johnny. Which one is your favorite?
Obviously, it has to be India.
I say India, yeah.
No, for real.
Okay, other than India.
Really, I know this is such a terrible guest answer, but
don't give me a cliche. I love them all. Give me a real answer.
No, it's not that you love them all. It's that, like, if you want to ask me what's the best country for food, or what's the best country for landscapes, or what's the best country for friendly people.
Okay, so what's the best country for food? Since we love food and so do our listeners.
Yeah, for food, for me, I would say it's a close competition between Mexico, Thailand, India, and Lebanon.
Oh,
Lebanon.
All excellent food countries. I'm going to agree with all of them. Yes, I love Lebanese food. Yes.
Me too, yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
Lebanese and Indian are probably my favorite.
Right. And I think the one time I went to Mexico, I probably ate my weight while I was there. So I can attest to that also.
It's really amazing. And so cheap as well.
Yeah. So anything else you want to tell people about the project or about the travels?
Yes, please. So absolutely, we would love to have some Indians on the trip, of course. So by all means, please go on givebackgiveaway.com and check it out. And if you can donate to the project, please rest assured that genuinely, 100% of the donations goes to the charitable causes. We don't take a penny for ourselves, not one penny.
Well,
and other than that, if you can donate, please donate. But if you can't donate, then please come on the website and share the website on your social media. If you don't have the money to donate, I completely understand that. So just share our message, share some of our videos of our past trips, or share the fundraising page, or even share our homepage, anything, so we can help spread the word.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, Johnny. So that's givebackgiveaway.com for everyone. And
That's right, yep.
and I just want to repeat that the project in India is with the Shiksha Bharati School, which is family run and gives free education. So that's an excellent cause to donate for. Yes, so thank you, Johnny. For more stories on our travels across the country, we're at ReDiscoveryProject.com. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I think that's it for this episode.
Thanks so much, Johnny.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, guys. Thank you so much.
All right.
Happy travels. For updates about our show and other awesome shows, follow IVM on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at IVM Podcasts. You can also listen to our show on the IVM website, app, and any other podcasting app platform you may prefer.
As you can see, we have a podcast listener in his natural habitat. Millions of years of evolution have led him to this point. He's on his way to work, and listening to podcasts makes his miserable day better. He will now head to work and use all his knowledge to communicate with other colleagues and possibly future mates. You can find more of his species on ivmpodcasts.com, your one-stop destination where you can check out all the coolest Indian podcasts. Happy listening.